To become somebody new, the old version of you kind of has to die. That person no longer exists. And the fear, the crippling fear, no longer exists. I'm not one of these people who, when they're frightened, they kind of go, ah! Hello, and welcome to day 5. I've been up since 4:45 and I just started working early because I knew I won't be able to get back to sleep. So I'm just brewing myself a coffee. I think it might be a highly caffeinated day, but I thought there's no point going back to sleep for half an hour, 45 minutes. So I was like, right, get cracking. Another slow day. I'm still working on the media kit. And I'm using Canva and I'm doing it on my laptop because I need to replace my desktop, and I think I'm a little bit slower on my laptop because I'm not as speedy, but even then I'm not a Canva pro, and I want to make sure it doesn't look cheap, and I want to make sure I'm putting the right amount of value in. It's like what I said yesterday, but again I feel frustrated because I feel like it's even slower progress today. But it's necessary progress. Like, I think the first couple of weeks at least is all about the prep. And I keep having to remind myself, I know I'm a broken record because I think I said this yesterday, but it's like slow and steady wins the race. And I'm finding the need to jump into action, make these massive big moves, like you see on the internet. But this is real life, but we don't see it, so it doesn't feel normal. And yeah, I wish I'd completed it today, and I do feel frustrated, but I'm not willing to rush and, like I said yesterday, put out any old slop, because I want to guarantee my success. And rushing, and it's not the vibe. It's not the vibe I'm going for. I'm looking for sustainability, and this is how I can ensure that I am creating a sustainable business and a sustainable life. But it just doesn't feel because like I say, you see on the internet, like these clips on YouTube, even like long form videos, people put out what they want you to see. Whether it be like, oh my God, I've just landed this massive deal, woohoo. But they don't show you the crap that goes on behind the scenes. You know, the self-doubt that, oh no, they want to be seen as some high-flying boss girl who has it all together. But who has it all together? Because I do sometimes, 100% of the time, no. And I don't claim to either. Just a little bit frustrated. I just wish I'd completed the media kit. But hopefully, being day 5 tomorrow, then I can kind of close that. And it's a working week. I mean, I'm still going to be doing work on Saturday and Sunday. It's bank holiday Monday here in the UK on Monday. How strange. But I'm still going to be doing my 90 minutes. I'm not going to get up early them 3 days. I'm not going to get up at 5:30. There's no point. I'm just going to make sure that is the first thing I do. Whatever the first thing I do with what I'll be working on. But by the end of tomorrow, I'd like to complete the media kit. However, if I don't, I don't. Because like I said, it needs to be good. It needs to, like, the value I'm putting in there and what I'm going to be approaching other companies with, I need to make sure it doesn't look cheap. I need to position it very well and strategically. Hello, good afternoon. Not that you know it's the afternoon, but it is. I'm just on my lunch break. I always come home for lunch. I was listening to a Robin Sharma podcast when I was at work. You're allowed to wear like earphones at work, so I thought, why not listen to some like positive personal development stuff, which is what I typically tend to do. Anyway, I was listening to it was a short form mini podcast episode. They're only like a few minutes long. It was talking about transformation and about to become somebody new, the old version of you kind of has to die. And it's kind of, I did kind of allude to that as well yesterday, like the phoenix rising from the ashes. But he said, like, to actually grow, that version of you needs to die. And it got me thinking, if you've been here a while, you'll know I talk about the great meltdown of 2023. And that is something I went through in 2023 when I got made redundant. It's my boyfriend, he laughs at that terminology because, you know, I get it. But the person prior to getting made redundant and all the transformation I went through that year, that person no longer exists. Genuinely, that person doesn't exist. She might look the same, she might sound the same, but she no longer exists. Like even the things I used to like, or I used to love doing, I don't enjoy that anymore. The things that I used to be frightened of, like I used to be terrified, and I mean terrified of flying. I used to have to go to the doctors for him to give me something to relax. I mean, the doctors won't do that anymore for me, or I don't think they do anyone in the UK now, which happened during the great meltdown of 2023, and that sent me into a pit of despair. But that was only for flying, just to clarify, that was only for flying. But since then, I've been on a plane, and the crippling fear no longer exists. And I've reflected upon that because that fear was very real. It wasn't like I was a little bit frightened. I was so afraid. I just used to freeze, and I used to go inside and just try and control myself, because I'm not one of these people who, when they're frightened, they kind of go ah. No, I'm kind of and I just go inwards. But now I don't really have that fear anymore. I mean, it's still there, there's flavours of that, but I am no longer terrified like I was. And I've asked myself, where has that fear gone? Because I haven't done anything, I've not had hypnotherapy since then. Nothing's really happened. And the only thing I can think of is I've been through that much crap since the great meltdown of 2023. I now have to choose my hard, or I now have maybe a bigger perspective. And I just think I kind of go through hell every day. I can get through this. It's fine. I can't fully articulate it. I just know that's no longer a thing. And Robin Sharma says, life is a series of deaths and rebirths. And I 100% agree with that, because if you're evolving, if you're working on yourself, you are constantly kind of killing that old version of you to become a better new person, and you're being reborn into this person. And that is exactly what I'm going through, especially this week, because the old version of me and this new version, or this in-between new version of me, certain habits are, like I said yesterday with the hand thing, feels uncomfortable. Not wrong, just uncomfortable. And that old version of me who did hard things, but now I'm getting used to this new version of hard. And one thing that I did think about was entrepreneurship, being a business owner. It's not for the meek. And that is a term I got from Robin Sharma. It's not for the meek. And I've wrote some notes in my notepad, which is what I keep looking at. And I've written, entrepreneurship is not for the meek. And then I'll put ... No shit. It's really not, because you have to face yourself a lot. You have to create new discipline, new motivation, and show up every day, even when you're not feeling it. Because if you don't show up, if your business is your only thing, you're not going to get paid. So you now have to develop them new skills, that new way of being. And I don't really know how relevant this is. I'm just sharing the process, what happens, what I'm thinking about every day. But yeah, showing up for myself every day. Like I do that with my workouts and stuff. So showing up isn't a new thing for me, but it is when it comes to the business. Like, I mean, it's only day 4. It's very early days, very, very early days. But I'm here. And despite me getting up early, like I could have, I don't know, I could have just sacked it off, but I had no excuse, and I didn't. And although I didn't make these massive moves, these massive progress, I made brilliant progress, important process, and steps that cannot be skipped in any way, shape or form. In order for me to hit my goal, I have to do what I'm doing now. It's not glamorous, it's not, ooh, but we're eliminating any shiny ball syndrome, and we're like locking in deep work, deep focus, and that is the whole point of this challenge, is saying no to things that aren't going to get me to my £60,000 goal, no matter how shiny they are. Anyway, I think I've gone on a bit of a tangent, but you get the vibe, you get the gist. And I think that's going to be all for today. I'm not going to check in again. Sorry about the lighting if the lighting isn't great. I was going to put the kitchen lights on, but it's going to create an orangey effect. It's terrible weather here. Let me show you how bad the weather is. Look how bad that weather is. This is England today. Anyway, that's all for today. I will see you tomorrow for day 5. And let's see what day 5 brings, because you know, every day is a learning day. Every day is something new to process, something new to experience. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.